The Open and Universal Science Project was created to support the research community by changing the way researchers are assessed and to incentivize and reward open science at research organizations. As a part of an agreement with the European Research Executive Agency, this EU-funded project is being carried out by a consortium of 18 organizations.
Ideal from REA perspective with around 13 projects, of which one of them is OPUS. I'm really happy to see today in Paris during the final conference what Open Universal Science means to the pilots, the researchers and the research managers working in order to improve open science.
Led by PLOCAN, the oceanic platform of the Canary Islands, OPUS has been running from the 1st of September 2022 until the 31st of August 2025.
The OPUS project brought together a wide range of research stakeholders, from research performing and funding organizations to open science experts, researchers, and industry partners.
Built around 7 work packages, OPUS did not simply aim to reward open science. It helped to foster a research culture where sharing knowledge lies at the heart of everything we do. Our work in Work Package 1, Open Science State of the Art, painted the broader context of the OPUS project within the wider open science landscape.
So we mapped over 40 European projects, 30 global and European initiatives, an extensive body literature, and we connected with over 150 experts.
As one of its key components, OPUS developed a researcher assessment framework.
The OPUS Researcher Assessment Framework essentially provides a comprehensive framework of indicators to help assess researchers in both their project evaluation as well as their career evaluation. So this framework looks at all the key activities done by researchers. So you can think of research activities, education activities, leadership activities, valorization activities. And the idea is that this Lego box of indicators helps research performing and research funding organizations to better reward their researchers. It's not the idea that they have to do all of these activities, rather that they can at least find their way in the assessment and make sure that the key activities that they do are recognized. So not that they're only recognized for publications or even more specifically publication metrics such as the H-index or the impact factor or the number of publications that they have.
We designed a framework of practical action, so a framework of interventions that help pilots to really implement the research assessment framework or the OSCAM2. We defined 4 categories of interventions: policy, resource, awareness and training, that were designed to help institutions take their theoretical and turn it into something that they could really use in their own institutions.
OPUS picked 5 pilot research organizations to test these interventions, 3 research performing and 2 research funding organizations.
They piloted these interventions for 18 months in total and accomplished great results, going over the targets in many cases.
In order for open science principles to flourish and thrive across the academic community, we need a twofold approach. First, we need a bottom-up approach. That's why we have focused on early career researchers, so we create the appropriate culture from early on. And of course, we need the endorsement, we need the auspices from the top-down approach, from leadership, and this is why we have equally focused on policy suggestions and recommendations.
For instance, while national policies on open science were still in progress, NOVA took a proactive approach under the leadership of my colleague Isabel Rocha, Vice Rector for Research and Innovation. The university developed and promoted an internal open science guide.
What we learned at the university is that it's really important to embed everything we do in policies. And I think the success really depended on engaging the really important stakeholders at the university library and other centers as well, because they were already doing the job. We really needed to systematize that and take that into the policy.
The second key action was the designation of library staff as key reference points for open science. to support pilot researchers and deliver training and awareness sessions. This approach effectively mobilized university talent, building internal capacity and fostering a culture of open science without the need for additional hires. A third best practice that I would like to stress is the importance of the definition of dedicated repositories for various research outputs, promoting the use of platforms such as the Node, GitHub and Pure, enhanced the visibility and allows tracking research contribution.
At the Executive Agency for Higher Education, Research, Development and Innovation Funding of Romania, OPUS piloted for the first time the introduction of fair-aligned data management plan requirements in a funding instrument. This represents a novelty, both at the national level and within funding instruments.
A key to our success in the project was building up cross-functional teams and localizing the European recommendations, taking into account our national context. And we did that by providing support to the stakeholders through webinars of raising awareness and trainings, and by adapting European guidelines and templates with regards to DMPs.
As one of the funders in the OPUS pilot program, the Research Council of Lithuania made a significant difference in promoting open science culture and in fostering constructive dialogue between researchers and funders.
What we see also that the researchers who were involved in ambassadors in the pilot phase program, so we see that they wanna to be part of the policy of open science policy creating in Lithuania. And we see that the OPUS community that was created and strengthened during this period became a key force for change in open science in Lithuania.
The RAV still needs testing and further rounds of piloting. However, the learnings from the OPUS pilots provide a solid base for future organizations that would like to progress in their open science practices and also in responsible research assessment.
OPUS work on policy within Work Package 5 is highly relevant not only for the European research area, but also for UNESCO. The 2017 recommendations on the status of scientific research and science emphasize the idea of opening up to society to be more effective in addressing societal needs, highlight the importance of including greater diversity within the research community. They are ensuring that everyone has the right to participate in and benefit from science, aligned with Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights from 1948.
All the learnings from OPUS and the case studies in how they implement open science action plans will feed and provide policy support and advice for other member states, not only in Europe but beyond at the global level, to implement the UNESCO recommendation on science and the other one on open science from 2021.
As its main highlight, OPUS is proud to present the revised Open Science Career Assessment Matrix 2, a game-changer in recognizing and celebrating the champions of open science.
The Open Science Career Assessment Matrix, so this is a component of the Researcher Assessment Framework, and there we look specifically at indicators which incentivize and reward open science. So trying to get researchers not only better assessed, but also to do open science.
OPUS, for open and universal science, and changing the way researchers are assessed.